EA pulled all loot boxes from Star Wars Battlefront 2 a couple of months ago. They were replaced with a much fairer and more straightforward microtransaction system after months of industry-altering controversy. But that doesn't mean that EA are done with loot boxes. Oh no.
Speaking in an investor call this week, EA CEO Andrew Wilson said a few things that might surprise some and be absolutely no surprise at all to others. On the topic of loot boxes, Wilson told investors the following. Quote, "We don't believe that FIFA Ultimate Team or loot boxes are gambling, firstly, because players always receive a specified number of items in each pack. And secondly, we don't provide or authorize any way to cash out or sell items or virtual currency for real money. We are working with all the industry associations globally and with regulators in various jurisdictions and territories and have established that programs like FIFA Ultimate Team are not gambling." Quick reminder, it was just last month when the Belgian Gaming Commission judged EA's FIFA 18 to be in direct violation of national gambling laws thanks to its Ultimate Team mode. Belgium launched an investigation into the matter after the outcry caused by the loot boxes and microtransactions for last year's Star Wars Battlefront 2. Ironically, the Belgian authorities said Battlefront 2 was actually fine because EA never set the microtransactions live thanks to the massive backlash the game received before it had even released. But FIFA Ultimate Team, alongside non-EA games like CSGO and Overwatch, were found to be in violation.
The important word there is we believe that it isn't gambling, and we have come to the conclusion, and there's a lot of we've decided it's not gambling, so it's alright guys, we can still make loads of money off you, essentially is what he's saying. That's not how it works, Andrew.
And it is pretty funny to hear him say that we've been talking to jurisdictions and people who decide this kind of thing all over the globe, and we've decided that it's not gambling, and it was just like a month ago that Belgium said this is definitely gambling.
The bottom line is that EA is not done with loot boxes and certainly not microtransactions. Wilson revealed the company expects 85% of its net bookings in fiscal 2019 to come from recurring revenue. In other words, subscriptions and microtransactions. On the topic of type of loot boxes you see in FIFA Ultimate Team, Wilson said this: "We're going to continue to push forward. We're always thinking about our players. We're always thinking about how to deliver these types of experiences in a transparent, fun, fair and balanced way for our players. And we'll communicate with regulators around the world on it."
They're going to continue to push forward. There you go, that's it. They're going to continue to push forward or push on with loot boxes. That's what Andrew Wilson has said there, because they're still making them a ton of money. 85% is their prediction for the next fiscal year, for the 2019 fiscal year, that they'll see 85% of their revenue will be from recurring stuff. So in other words, not just game sales, but the stuff on top of that, the subscriptions and the microtransactions and stuff that people keep paying for a while afterwards. They're really banking on making a lot of money on this, and clearly loot box is going to be a part of that for them.
Yeah, whenever people open their mouths, I'm always analysing to see whether it's consistent, right? That's just the way I am. I analyse everything everyone says. So when Andrew Wilson talks, you can take him on face value and say, oh yeah, you're doing all right. But then he says something like, we're always thinking about how to deliver these type of experiences in a transparent, fun and fair, balanced way for our players. Was it very transparent, fun and fair to do what you did with microtransactions in Battlefront 2? No, it wasn't. So how are you always thinking about that when you dropped the ball so badly with Battlefront 2? That doesn't make any sense. There's inconsistencies there. In other words, you're talking shit. I don't believe a fucking word of it.
The real thrust of what Wilson had to say, though, was about streaming technology and how, quotes, subscription plus cloud gaming will fundamentally disrupt the way that people play games in the near future. EA is already planning for that future, of course, primarily how to make money out of that future. Wilson said the tech is still 3 to 5 years away, but the company is already laying the groundwork for a more connected future and expects streaming to be as disruptive to gaming as it has been to movies, TV and music. And that is their kind of forecast for the next kind of 5 years, I guess, and they're already working in the background to get ready for it, I guess. They're already trying with things like Origin Access, EA Access and these subscription programs that give you access to a library of games. They're already making moves in that department. I mean, they're releasing a free update for the World Cup, which is something that previously they would just make a new game out of. So that is a good thing for FIFA fans. Obviously, they get all this new kind of content and new stuff for free, essentially. But they're monetizing it in a different way now. They're monetizing it with FIFA Ultimate Team, so they don't have to keep churning out these games at such a rapid pace. So the way that the actual games look is starting to change. They're moving more to a constant live subscription model, and they reckon in the next 5 years it's going to be on the same level as Netflix with movies and Spotify with music.
Yeah, they're prioritizing more on the amount of recurring revenue over units sold these days, and that's what's apparent for having read through the whole transcript of this bloody meeting thing. That's something that they're pushing forward in future. We talked about it with the Jade Raymond video that we did recently at the Game Developers Conference. She is the executive at EA Motive, talking about cloud computing and how that's going to change the industry and how we think about games. Now, again, what came up in this transcript was that they are talking about thinking about cloud computing and how to serve games on all different platforms but have a seamless experience between those devices. And that's the way they're looking at it, see? And for me, from my cynical eyes, it looks just like, how can they sell microtransactions from your mobile phone for FIFA Ultimate Team packs? Because that always comes up in the conversation when they're talking about it. But this is what they're pushing for. They're pushing for a more sustained revenue model than was previously in the industry, where you just release a game, get a huge spike in revenue, and you don't do that anymore. This is what they're looking, because they're a big business. Like they want to stabilize their revenue. So this is how they think they're going to do it.
They've got to keep growing, haven't they? When you're a big corporation like that, you've got to be going upwards. And if you're flatlining, then that is as bad as going down. You've got to keep going up.
I mean, it makes sense from a huge corporation business model thing to be doing, right? It makes sense. They're a huge corporation. This is the gaming industry. Does it work in the gaming industry? Is this what the fans want? They talk about Anthem in it, right? They talk about how that's going to be seamlessly multiplayer and this and that. I don't want to play multiplayer. I'm just not fussed. I don't give a about multiplayer games. I want an RPG game. I want to be able to play single player games. And in that way, EA games are pretty much laying the ground to just be unappealing to me in the future. If every game I'm going to play is going to have to involve multiplayer and going to be trying to take money off me, it just turns me off big time. So I'm sorry, EA, if you keep going the way you're going, I probably won't be buying any of your games.
So you're surprised to hear EA saying they're going to keep pushing on with loot boxes, or is it no surprise at all? Let us know what you think about all this down in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. There's another video right there which you could watch right now if you want, and the link to Patreon if you want to support the channel. See you next time.